Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Songwriting for Beginners. I'm David, and if you're here, you're probably curious about turning those random thoughts or melodies in your head into actual songs. This series is designed for absolute beginners, no prior experience needed. We'll take it slow, building your skills one step at a time, so by the end, you'll have crafted your very own song from scratch. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is songwriting? At its core, it's the art of blending lyrics and music to tell a story, evoke emotions, or capture a moment. It's like writing a poem and giving it a soundtrack. But here's the key. Great songwriters aren't just musicians, they're culture enthusiasts. They draw inspiration from literature, poetry, music, history, and even world events to add depth, layers, and universality to their work. For instance, Bob Dylan, often hailed as one of the greatest songwriters, weaves in literary references from poets like Arthur Rimbaud and T.S. Eliot, or draws from American history and folklore in songs like "The Times They Are A-Changin'," which echoes the civil rights movement and biblical themes. His work even earned him the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2016 for creating new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Taylor Swift pulls from personal stories influenced by books and films. Think of her album Folklore, inspired by literary storytelling and imaginary narratives, or references to classic novels like Rebecca in her lyrics. She's a prime example of how reading widely can help craft relatable, narrative-driven songs. Then there's Patti Smith, whose punk rock poetry in songs like Gloria blends influences from French symbolist poets like Baudelaire with rock and roll history, creating raw, evocative lyrics. Or Jim Morrison of The Doors, who studied poetry and drew from William Blake and Native American mythology, infusing tracks like The End with psychedelic philosophical depth. History plays a huge role too. Woody Guthrie's folk songs chronicled the Great Depression and Dust Bowl era, influencing generations like Bruce Springsteen, who channels working-class American history in albums like Born to Run. Even modern artists like Kendrick Lamar incorporate historical events, such as the Black Lives Matter movement and African American history, into his Pulitzer Prize-winning album, Damn. Music history itself is a goldmine. Songwriters often pay homage to predecessors. For example, Led Zeppelin's Ramble On draws from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, blending fantasy literature with blues rock roots. To become a well-rounded songwriter, immerse yourself in these worlds, read classic poems by Blake or Wordsworth, dive into music biographies, or explore historical documentaries. It expands your vocabulary, imagery, and themes, making your songs more resonant. If you're into that, check out our other series on the channel like Literature Explained or Music Explained. They'll supercharge your creativity and give you tools to infuse your writing with cultural richness. Now, before we dive deeper, let's debunk some common myths that might be holding you back. These are barriers I've seen trip up so many aspiring songwriters. Myth 1. You have to be a born musical genius to write songs. Not true at all. Most professionals started with simple ideas and learned as they went. Take the Beatles. John Lennon and Paul McCartney began by imitating their idols like Elvis and Buddy Holly, piecing together basic chords and lyrics without formal training. Genius comes from practice, not pedigree. Myth 2. It takes years to write anything decent. Wrong. You can create a solid basic song much quicker with the right guidance. Look at Ed Sheeran. He wrote his breakout hit, The A-Team, in his early 20s after just a few years of experimenting, and it was based on real-life observations he jotted down quickly. We'll get you to a complete song draft by around episode 5 in this series. Myth 3. You need to play an instrument like a pro. Absolutely not. Many hits are built using loops, apps, or even just voice recordings. Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas started recording in a bedroom with basic software, no virtuoso skills required. We'll focus on accessible tools so you can start creating right away. To get set up for success, you'll need a few simple things: a notebook or digital note app for brainstorming, a free recording tool like voice memos on your phone, and optionally a basic instrument if you have one. Find a quiet spot where ideas can flow without distractions. Maybe surround yourself with inspiring books or playlists. That's our foundation for today. We've covered what songwriting is, why culture matters, and busted those myths to get you motivated. but this is just the start. In the next episode, we'll break down song structure, the blueprint that makes your ideas cohesive and catchy. For your assignment, jot down 3 sources of inspiration from your life or culture, maybe a favorite poem, a historical event, or a personal memory. Share one in the comments below. It'll help build our community and give you a head start on brainstorming. Oh, and if you want to see some of my own songs or projects, check the link to my portfolio in the description. It's full of examples we'll reference throughout the series. Excited to see what you create? Hit that like button if this busted a myth for you, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss episode 2. We've got so much more to explore, from crafting lyrics that hit home to melodies that stick.